Hello.
Good evening.
There you are. Good evening, darlings, and the very warmest of welcomes to Monday Night Live. And tonight we are going to be welcoming in the new week with a double helping of community goodness. And I'm delighted to let you know that I'm joined, kind of, by a co-host. My co-host is of a telephonic rather than a visual nature tonight. So there's going to be limited boobage, I'm afraid. You're going to have to either look at mine or use your imaginations. The technical issues are still going on in terms of the joint live stream thing, but we think that we've got to the bottom of it, and we have come up with a solution. And the solution is simply to get a proper phone, because the M11 has got one of those silly Marvin the Paranoid Android phones, which, they're not very good. I'm sure they're jolly good value for money, or they're good for children to play with or something like that. But they're not terribly good for YouTube joint live streams. So the answer is to get a proper phone, an iPhone. But anyway, it is my enormous pleasure to introduce my telephonic co-host, who's here on this portable electric telephone. Good evening, M11.
Hey, good evening, Boaty. How are you today?
I'm tremendously well. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm good. So just good evening to the lovely community as well, who are chatting away, I see, in the chat box. Yes, I'm not too bad. Slightly flustered, as always. But it's wonderful to be here, even though it's just my voice on your table. But,
And it's wonderful to have you. And I'm slightly flustered as well. I was telephoned about 20 minutes ago by a member of YouTube royalty. And we forgot that I was doing a live stream until about a minute and 30 seconds before I was actually supposed to be doing it. But I have had the most splendid of days today. The most splendid of days. And you can bet that over the next count them, 2 hours at least, I'm going to tell you, all about my day. But and I'm sure the M11, would love to hear about your day. So how has your Monday been? How is the new week treating you? Obviously, we're all going to know what you've been eating. And if there's anything else that you would like to tell us, or anything that we can all chat about, I mean, it's Monday. Anything goes, darlings. And talking of anything going, and the fact that I was on the telephone until just before the live stream, can I leave you in charge while I go and have a wee?
Well, you could in a minute. I'm just trying to get you up on another device so I can see the comments. So hang on. Right.
Okay.
I'm just because I'm having to read the comments on a phone that's very slow. So just give me a second.
Not a problem at all.
I'll let you know if my doings are... Oh, yes, yes, right. I've got the beginning of the comments, so would you like me to read them out?
I'm sure that many people can sympathise with the difficulty of getting me up. Yes, I will leave you in charge of the comments. Well, I quickly go and turn the bike around, or insert a metaphor of your choice. Point Percy at the postman, siphon the Tyson. Hey? I always say that. I don't know why. Right, I'll be back in 10 seconds.
Okay, enjoy yourself.
Great.
Have some fun, won't you? Have one for me.
I had one for you earlier. I'll tell you all about that.
That sounds dodgy. Good evening, wonderful people. I'm going to read a few of your comments then while you sit and stare at this empty chair and this lovely candle. So Lord Develop... We'll try that again. Lord Stiff Upper Lip is here and he is singing. Some people call me the space cowboy. Yeah. Some call me the gangster of love. Some people call me Maurice. Because I speak of the promises of love. Really love your peaches, wanna shake your tree. Yes, good evening, Lord Stiff Upper Lip. Good evening, Jimmy Quinn. He said, good evening, Boaty and all. Excuse me a moment. There was a frog perched in my throat. Sean James Cameron is here. Good evening, Sean. And he says, it's a freezing night in the valleys tonight, is it? Gosh, it's been quite warm here today. Peter P says, good evening, Honourable Boaty and all. I'm sure Boaty would say hello to you if it wasn't, tinkling away. Sophie is here. She says, hi, everyone. How are you all today? Hi, Sophie. Hope you're doing well. Barry is here, or Casbar, presumably Barry. Hello, all. I'm back in Illinois and managed to get work done early. Well done, Barry. It's wonderful to have you here. I'm in a town called Mount Vernon, and it's a dump. Oh, poor you. Matron is here. She says, hi, Lord. Jimmy, Sean, Peter P. Oh, sorry, Peter P. Sophie and Barry. And Jimmy Quinn responds by saying, Tracy, and showing his tumbler of wine, which he's having in her honour. Barry said, now, as I was young and easy under the apple boughs, about the lilting house and happy as the grass was green. Is this a song? I don't know this song. Boaty, I see you're back. Do you know that song that Barry is singing? Presumably it's a song.
No.
Now, as I was young and easy.
It looks a bit dull. Looks a little bit Dylan Thomasy to me.
Oh, okay. Would you like to recite that then? Because you're probably better at that than me.
No, I might well be wrong. So, no, you're okay. Crack on.
Is it poetic? Now, as I was young and easy, under the apple boughs, about the lilting house and happy as the grass was green, the night above the dingle starry, time let me hail and climb. How about that? Andrew Buttigieg says, a very good evening, Boaty, Emma, Lord Stiff, Jimmy, Sean, Peter P, Sophie, Barry, and AK.
And just to point out, it was Dylan Thomas, and it was from Fernhill, and I'm ashamed that I didn't recognise it. Obviously, I love Dylan Thomas. I know every single word of Undermilk Wood. I literally know it backwards, which is quite ironic because, of course, Slaregib Hill, where Undermilk Wood is based, for those who don't know, Slaregib is bugger all backwards. That was his little joke. There you go. Some of you might not have known that. I'm sure most of you did. Are you blowing your nose?
No, I had a little sniff. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Fine.
I wouldn't blow my nose down the phone at you. Sorry if it was loud.
No, I was talking about this last night, and and whether it's rude to directly blow your nose at somebody.
I wouldn't blow my nose at somebody.
It was a fascinating part of the live stream. My God. I mean, honestly, the entertainment that I provide is it's almost freakishly good. I'm sure you'd agree.
How about that could be like feature number 42 for this evening then? Community people, would you ever blow your nose at somebody? And if so, why? And if not, why not? There we go.
Well, my point last night was that I think the reason that I've got this fixed in my mind that it's an insult is because I'm a Monty Python fan. And you will, of course, remember the French Knight saying, I blow my nose at you and your so-called Arthur King, all you silly English kniggards. I one more time unclog my nose in your direction and all of that. So I've always assumed that, yeah, so blowing your nose is an insult, as is doing this, which I rather enjoy doing.
I can't see that until a few seconds. Oh, I see it now.
All right, there you are.
That's an insult, is it?
Well, it was in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. To me, that's like my Bible. It's like my Bibli. I believe every word that Monty Python ever spake.
Right, well, I always find that I don't actually like loud burps, but I seem to be very on my own in that everybody else seems to think loud burps are amazing, but I don't really like it, particularly if someone loudly burps in my face.
Yeah, but I mean,
Anyway.
that's a given, isn't it? I mean, surely you don't burp in front of a lady.
You have, though. You burped when we were having lunch in the caravan. Don't say I wasn't a lady.
I did not. I did not. No, I refute that.
Matron, did anybody burp in the caravan when we had lunch there?
No, yeah, I can tell you what would have happened. Mustard. Now,
Mustard.
Our mutual friend, Captain Mustard, he's always had a hankering to have some sort of a theatrical career. That's why he loves YouTube, because he's a frustrated actor, stroke director, stroke writer. And one of the things that he tried to do in his younger life, if you remember back in the day, you could there were, like, at the back of magazines, there were things you could send off for, allowed 28 days for delivery. And he sent off for a book on how to be a ventriloquist. And what he does now, he can throw his burps. So he can burp, but it sounds as if I've done it.
Is it the same with farting as well?
Yeah, he can do that as well. He's he's a very talented man.
Oh, right. So all this time you've been blaming your wine fridge, and it was actually Captain Mustard.
No, that actually was the wine fridge. I can't get away with blaming Mustard when he's not here. I'm going to do something very unusual now. I'm going to turn my heating down. My heating is on 19 degrees. I put it on about 30 minutes ago, and I'm a little too warm. I'm going to knock it back down to 18, if you'll excuse me.
Well, I was just going to say that when I was there at Windy Bum, and Tracy was there too, and we were doing a live stream, you accused me of farting, but I think it was probably Captain Mustard. He's gone. Stratospherian here says hello and good evening all. Good evening, Stratospherian.
Can I just point out that Mustard has never come out with one as good as you did, and he would have been proud of it.
Oops.
Yeah.
Tracy says, hi, Andrew. I have a blooming longest name ever these days. And Barry says, I am on my Todd in a dingy hotel room overlooking the freeway. It says cuddy, to be honest. I don't know what cuddy means.
No, neither do I.
Oh, okay.
Oh, might have been going for cruddy.
Oh, cruddy, perhaps.
Yeah, could have been cruddy.
Thinking of hotel rooms, I was looking at an article today that just popped up on my, things just pop up in front of you on the PC, about the Grand Hotel in Llandudno. Oh, yeah. About how it used to be lovely and it had gone downhill, but apparently it's slightly improved now. But it was quite an interesting article. I thought of you.
Yeah, I've never stayed there. There are every YouTuber in that niche has been to the Grand Hotel just in order to give it a really good kicking. Because, I mean, it used to be, well, grand. It's in, as you know, it's in the most amazing location. And it is priced as if it was still grand and is in that amazing location. But when you get into it, it's an old knacker. And
well, the article did say that it has improved. It's sort of old day, it's very tired looking, but apparently it seems to have improved. And he did say that it was worth staying there simply for the view.
Yeah. I think it probably is. Now, oddly enough, it's owned by a large chain. It's not as if it's privately owned and they're synced. It's actually owned by a chain. Why they don't spend any money on it, I don't know. Now, when I had this unexpected Monday, when Mustard announced that he couldn't be asked to come and see me because he had a better offer, and I thought, oh, right, I've got a day. What am I going to do? Just for fun, I jumped onto booking.com. The travel lodges were like 160 quid. So I jumped onto booking.com to see what was available at very short notice. The cheapest one was £20. But of course, the Grand Hotel was in there. And it really is on my bucket list to do. I've never even been in there for a drink. Now, Bernard is head over heels in love with that place, and she has actually been in there for a drink on a couple of occasions. But no, I've never stayed there, and I would love to stay there. But it is, it's priced right up there. And if I was going to stay there, I would want the sea view with a balcony, because honestly, if you're a smoker, if you're not a smoker, congratulations, well done, you are very sensible. If you're a smoker, a hotel is a nightmare since the smoking ban, because if you want a nice fag, if you want a little puff on your on your little fag, you've got to run about 4 miles out of the bleeding hotel and then run 4 miles back. And then by the time you've run 4 miles back, you fancy another fag. Whereas if you've got a balcony, you can just waft out onto the balcony and smoke your head off. Absolutely smoke your head off. That's why I like continental hotels. They always have a balcony. British hotels hardly ever do. The Grand is unique in Llandudno in that it's the only hotel that offers a balcony, and that's another reason why I would like to stay there. And when I become a rich and famous YouTubist, I will go and stay there, and I will make a video about it, and I won't do what everybody else has done and point out everything that's wrong with it and how overpriced it is and what a shame it is. I shall just concentrate on the good bits, like the balcony, and the fact that it's historically amazing, and its placement and all of that kind of thing. I will buck the trend, so I will.
Well, how about you suggest to Bernard that she pays for you and her to go and stay there, and then you can do a video while you're there. That, like, you'd get your video out of it. You'd get to see Bernard, and you'd get to stay at the Grand. Kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Where's the? Can't see anything wrong with that plan. Can you?
Yeah, I can actually. Bernard is not prepared to be in the same time, in the same place at the same time as me, even if I was paying. She's certainly not going to be prepared to do it and foot the bill herself. That's the slight issue I've got with that.
And also, another bucket list place is, of course, the lighthouse, because that looks amazing.
Oh yeah, sorry, I've just been distracted by a message. Oh, let me have a look.
Is it Bernard saying, yes, please, I'll come to the Grand Hotel?
We sincerely request you to grace our beloved daughter Deepa's engagement with your dignified presence at the following time and place. Applicant Gopira Lakshmi Giri, Nottingham, UK. Oh, Deepa's got engaged. Oh, wow. Oh, engagement ceremony, Deepa and Utsav, October the 7th, from 12 until 5. Oh, that's nice. I'm very flattered by that. How lovely.
Oh, nice. When is it?
October the something.
The something.
Well, I just said, hold on. 7th, October the 7th.
Oh, okay, right. Well, that's lovely.
Yeah, fancy Deepa getting engaged. God, I thought she was on the shelf, that one.
Oh, that's a bit mean.
No, well, I mean, Nepali, then they're married by the time that they're 19 or 20. Deepa was like 25, fiercely independent, and want to kind of buck the trend. She wasn't quite as adhered to her culture and traditions as many people, even of her generation. She wanted to go her own way. But hopefully she's found a very, very worthy young man, because I love Deepa to bits. She's absolutely fabulous.
Well, congratulations, Deepa.
Deepa is somebody that I used to work with at the restaurant, and her father, Gopi, he was like my closest brother at the restaurant. Uh, and he was a partner, and unfortunately, the partnership dissolved, and Gopi left, and I miss him very, very much. And of course, his children both worked at the restaurant. They've both been on my channel, but you will know Divas, Gopi's son, from the Great Wiper Challenge. And he is the Nepali cricketing prodigy featured on that video, because he genuinely is a cricketing prodigy. He's one of the most promising cricketers in the world. And they both worked at the restaurant, and I loved them both dearly. But of course, when Gopi went, then familial loyalty meant that none of the kids would ever cross the threshold again. It was a bit of a falling out, to be honest, which is a shame. And yeah, and I miss him very much. He was like my dearest brother. We were the same age. He's been on videos, not for quite a long time, but you long-term guys, you'll remember Gopi when it used to be Gopi and Ram. So how lovely that that they haven't forgotten about me. I'm very flattered and honoured to receive that invitation, and it'll be, well, I mean, it's a free lunch, isn't it? Whatever way you look at it.
Well, that'd be lovely.
Yeah, I'll film it.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Well, back in the comments, Bad Books is here, says good evening all.
Oh, good evening, Bad Books.
People are saying hello to each other.
Oh,
Chaz
nice.
Brown is here, says evening Boaty and all.
Evening, Chaz.
Adrian is here and says Pula Pula Pizda Pizda. Good evening, Adrian.
Good evening, and Pula Pula to you as well, my dear chap, and Umbongo.
And if you're new, do subscribe. Click the like button, everyone. Peter P is here. Oh, Peter P says wine glass a la Tracy. Claire is here and says hello, everyone.
Oh, this isn't wine. This is water. This is water, darlings. It's you know the rule. You know the rule. Nothing alcoholic before 11 p.m. 11 p.m. is wine o'clock.
And I'm sure that everyone knows now that if Boaty was having wine, he would be having it in a wine glass because he's classy like that.
Oh, yeah. I exude class, I do.
So, yes, we have somebody called Claire here saying hello, everyone. Hi, Claire. Welcome if you're new.
The lovely Claire. Welcome.
Barry says, I did grab a copy of How Green Was My Valley.
Right. And don't forget, haven't mentioned this for a while, another book that you must read, I Bought a Mountain. We should do. Now, Sean suggested that I do a monthly wine club where we all buy a bottle of the same wine and we all have a tasting together and share our thoughts. We should also do a book club once a month where we take it in turns to pick a book, one of our favourites, and then we all have to read or reread the book. And then at the end of the month, we all have a talk about it. So I'm going to throw some suggestions at you, seeing as Barry's talked about How Green Was My Valley. And I'm going to give you two. What do you have where there are valleys? You have mountains. So I'm going to give you two mountain books, or two books with mountain in the title, that you must read for the good of your soul. One, I Bought a Mountain. Read it, love it, thank me later. And the other one, Spencer's Mountain by Earl Hamner Jr. So you've got one Welsh, one American. Spencer's Mountain is a book that spawned a television series. And that television series was called The Waltons. It's based on the book, but the book is obviously The Waltons was soft and fluffy and lovely. The book that it was based on is less soft and fluffy and lovely. And Clay Spencer is a hard-working, hard-drinking, hard-fighting man. And his son, Playboy Jr. Obviously, you got John Boy in the TV. In the book, it's Clay. It's a really, really good book. I would recommend it to you. So, what do you think about a book club idea? Can you read, M11?
Can I read? I can read, but I don't. A book club idea is fantastic, I think, but it's not something I would be able to join in with because I sort of have issues regarding reading, which I'm not going to go into on a live stream. But I think that it's a fantastic idea.
I have a
and
question.
The wine club idea is too. Again, I wouldn't be joining in with that, but I think it's a fantastic idea as well.
Yeah. Does any part of your body function what we would term correctly?
No.
Right.
Just no. I am quite special, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a lot of things wrong with me, but hey, that's what makes me me. No.
Yeah. Oh well, I'm the same. Very little is left working. I mean, most of me has either changed colour, fallen out completely, or just stopped working. That's
Okay.
That's the joy of getting into your late 30s, darlings.
I will say why I have problems with reading. I've got two problems with it.
Oh, hang on. I've just realised what one of them is. It your wonky eye?
Yeah, one of them is my wonky eye. Well, what happened? I had an operation, and one of my eyes looks slightly up. So my brain sometimes can't quite work out what line I'm on. So sometimes, I'll get to the end of the line, and when I go to the beginning of the next line, because one of my eyes looks slightly up, my brain can't work out where the next line is, so it's effort. And the other reason is, and I don't know, I don't know if I've got any kind of ADHD, but I have some symptoms, it's not symptoms, traits of it. And I've recently found out that people with ADHD, they find that they can read a whole page and then realise that they haven't actually taken anything in because their brain just kept wandering off. They'll have to read it again, and then they read the whole page, and then they realise, I didn't take it in again. And that's exactly what happens to me. So I'll read.
Can I make a suggestion? Right.
Don't read.
Go out.
Audiobooks.
Yes. Audiobooks. Go out for a long, rambling walk, help with the old weight loss, and listen to an audiobook.
I have had audiobooks in the past. I don't know. I just sometimes don't have the concentration. My brain is just off on everything else. Oh. I start listening to an audiobook, and 15 minutes into it, I suddenly think, I haven't been listening because I've started thinking about everything else. So I really struggle with it. So
how do you get through? How the hell do you get through one of my live streams?
I've got something nice to look at.
Oh, you and your silver-tongued bullshit.
I don't know. I've all my life I've struggled with reading and books and long things that I have to really focus on for a long time. So it's just, unfortunately, that's how I am. I love the idea of reading, and many times in my life I have attempted to get into it. I'm going to go to the library and get some books and try, and I just can't. I have read books, but not many. I've read some autobiographies and things like that. Mm-hmm. And also the other thing is, I find that I can't read fiction, because if I read fiction, my brain throughout it is saying, this isn't real, you're wasting your life reading this, because at the end of it, I come away and think, well, that wasn't true, so why did I read it? So I don't mind factual things, but still, I really struggle with it. So sorry about that. I know that makes me a very bad person.
I was just thinking I wouldn't watch my bedtime stories if I were you.
Oh, I don't mind pervy stuff.
Oh, I see. All right. Oh, yeah.
No.
It's amazing how perversion can overcome other difficulties, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like I suffer from IBS, but once I get down to a hot session, I don't feel the urge to have a poo, strangely, but that's how it goes.
I know that's a sentence I never thought that I would hear from from anybody. But there you
I told you, I'm different. I'm special.
Yeah, well, you have fewer filters than is common. That's for sure.
I'm Tracy's sister. What do you expect?
I did have to laugh today. I was thinking about you today. I had I'm sorry if this is getting a little scatological, darlings, but I normally have my special daily moment at around the 11 o'clock mark. I'm fairly regular. I normally have a pleasing result. And this morning, for whatever reason, when I went to settle down and read a few chapters of my nice book, the result was not as complete as expected. And I thought, now then, there might be difficulties later on. And there were difficulties later on, darlings. Now, this is not a spoiler alert. You all know, I think, certainly you know if you're in the Facebook group, I went to the Heights of Abraham today, darlings, in search of a hot dog. And I found a hot dog. But at some point after lunch, I had a need to visit the smallest room on top of the hill. And it just amused me. I thought of you. And I had the worst thing. I can't be the only person this has happened to. I really struggle I've got strange toilet syndrome, right? I am very uncomfortable dropping anchor anywhere other than on my own lavatory. Also, I've got toilet shyness. I can't perform if there's anybody so if we were in the house and if I was in the loo upstairs and you were in the bedroom, I couldn't perform. If you're on the same level as me, oh no, I get stage fright. I would need you to be downstairs or ideally somewhere about 13 miles away. I like a bit of solitude. So it's very unusual for me to be in a situation where I do, but I had no choice this afternoon, darlings. I had no choice. Mr. Brown and all of his children were very much at reception. And I had to, oh God. So I went into this, well, forgive me, I don't wish to offend anybody, lavatory at the Heights of Abraham. Now, fortunately, it was spotless. It was beautiful, tremendous facility, but it was very compact and bijou. You had two urinals or urinals. I'm never sure how you pronounce that. What I can tell you is that if anybody offers you a urinal cake, then don't eat it. And so two urinals, one cubicle. So that rings alarm bells and you're in very close proximity. And then I went into the cubicle, locked the door, secured it, you know, all of the things that you do in preparation, quite quick preparation, because the situation was really becoming somewhat urgent at this point. And I noticed, to my dismay, that it was one of those cubicles where the door and walls don't go all the way down to the floor. Now, I don't know why they do that. I presume it's something about effective floor cleaning or something like that. But, oh, I am very uncomfortable with that. Very uncomfortable indeed. If I'm in there having a was, I don't want to see somebody else's pants around their ankles. And I certainly don't want anybody else coming in and seeing my pants around my ankles. So basically, I assumed the position and just had to hope for the best. And what I was dreading, I was literally praying to the God of lavatories, please don't let anybody come in. Please, as I'm lowering myself down over the bombing zone, I'm thinking, please God, don't let anybody come in. And those thoughts were redoubled when it began, because it was, and again, I apologize for the subject matter, but it was quite an explosive situation. And it was accompanied by enormous gusts of wind. It sounded like a howling and severe rainstorm battering against a greenhouse roof. And as this started, I thought, please God, please God, please God. And I thought that for literally about a third of a second until the door opened and somebody came in. And I'm in the middle of this and I'm thinking, oh dear God, this is the worst moment of my life. All hell is breaking loose in this lavatory. Of course, it reverberates around the toilet bowl. So it's sounding like the bloody London Symphonic Philharmonic Orchestra is going on down there. And I'm trying everything I can to mitigate this. And and I can hear this chap going about his business. He's about 18 inches away from me. And the noise that I make, and I just lost the plot. I was so hideously embarrassed that I almost tried to flush myself down the lavatory because I thought, I just want to end it all. I want to end this. And then just, thank God, age brings a bit of wisdom. And I suddenly just saw the hilarity of the situation and I started laughing. So all you can hear, God knows what the bloke thought, but all you could hear from inside this cubicle was the sounds of virtually non-stop farting, pebble dashing this poor Heights of Abraham lavatory, and insane laughter coming from in there. And I heard him sort of wash his hands and operate the dryer. And I just had to shout out, I'm so sorry about this. And he just started laughing and said good luck. And he started. Oh, it was awful. Oh, God. Oh, God. If I'd have been him, because I was in full flow, he must have really needed to go. Because if I'd have walked into a lavatory and heard that sort of shenanigans, I would have just turned around, walked out, piddled up a tree. Oh, it was awful. Oh, God above. I was mortified. Absolutely. Oh.
Well, I have to say that's not dissimilar to some experiences I have had, but yours sounds like it trumps them all, literally.
Oh, yeah, I see what you did there.
And also well done for achieving that at the top of the Heights of Abraham, because I didn't. I don't know if you recall that I attempted it and it didn't happen for me, because I also have strange toilet syndrome, despite my issues.
That's a really unfortunate combination, IBS and strange toilet syndrome.
Yeah, it's quite difficult. That's why whenever I go away anywhere, I often don't manage it for the entire time I'm away. Because the last time, I think the first time I visited you, I did manage it, but most of the other times I didn't, which is why I didn't clean your toilet, because I hadn't managed to achieve anything in it.
Well, what that should show you is that your IBS is completely psychosomatic, and all you've got to do is find a way to master it, and then it won't be a problem anymore.
I've been told that my IBS is stress related, to be honest. So obviously when I came to visit you, I wasn't stressed, so I didn't have problems. So there we go.
The first time you came to visit me, I was stressed for a period of time.
I came to visit you and I wasn't stressed. I was having nice breakfast and, it was all good fun. And so I wasn't stressed and so I didn't have any issues. So basically, Boaty, you have to come and live with you and my IBS will be gone.
Yeah.
You never clean toilet?
Well, I bloody wouldn't, would I, if you're not using it? Funnily enough, I cleaned my toilet this evening and I'm feeling quite virtuous as a result.
Oh, cleaning your toilet after you've had a busy day out. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Whenever I've had a day out, the last thing I want to do is come home and do cleaning.
I'm a lot better than when I was a kid, though, with the STS or strange toilet syndrome. Now, when I was a kid and used to go to my grandparents, if I was there a week, I wouldn't go. I wouldn't go for a week. Don't ask me how, but I just wouldn't go. And I used to be the same with hotels. Now I'm fine with a hotel. As in my mind, a hotel is like my own lavatory. And I can tell you the exact moment that changed. And it was in Malta, specifically in a village or town called Aura, which is in St. Paul's Bay. on the never eat shredded wheat on the eastern coast of Malta. Myself and the artist formerly known as Mrs. Boaty were staying in our favourite hotel, the Dolmen Resort Hotel, and we were out of an evening having a lovely dinner at the watercolour restaurant. Now, my strange toilet syndrome had been kicking in all the time during this trip, and I hadn't been, and I was uncomfortable with it. And we were out that day. We'd been out. We'd been out on a boat. We'd been out on a boat to the Blue Lagoon and moored up and swam off the boat and all of that sort of thing. But I was becoming uncomfortable with my not having been. And the artist formerly known as Mrs. Boaty, who started life as a nurse and then became a senior nurse and a matron, a sister and a matron, and all of that sort of thing, suggested that we will pop into a chemist and she would purchase a laxative for me to ease the passage. So we got back to the hotel and she said, "Have you ever had a laxative before?" I said, "No." She said, "Right, you won't need much then. You won't need much because you've never had one before, it'll have more of an effect. So just take whatever it was, one or two of these things." And I duly did. And she said, probably in the morning, you'll get a bit of relief and you'll have a nice, lovely poo. Splendid, I thought. I will look forward to the morning. Now, it was just as Mrs. Boaty was considering which dessert we should both have. We were having a 3-course meal. Mrs. Boaty liked 3-course meals because I don't eat dessert, and that meant she got 2. So she was just perusing the dessert menu and deciding which desserts she would like, when the laxative went from 0 to 100 in about a tenth of a second. And I went from enjoying the fact that I just had a sumptuous steak meal to thinking, if I am not sitting on a lavatory with my panties down in about 1.3 seconds or less, there is going to be a real problem. And I wish Mrs. Boaty was here to tell you. She says that I just stood up, barely said a word, threw some money on the table and ran. But I couldn't do a complete run because I daren't open my legs to that extent. So I was running from the knees down. And it wasn't far to the hotel, thank God. It was only around the corner. But you had to go past the bingo club. And unfortunately, it was chucking out time at the bingo club. And every old age pensioner on the island of Malta was filing out of this bingo club and shuffling up the road. So I'm now running from the knees down, throwing pensioners behind me, shouting and screaming for them to get out of my way, that this is the most dire of emergencies. And anyway, I made it. God knows how, but I made it up to the hotel room. And, strange toilet syndrome just went completely out of the window. And I sat there and things happened and they kept on happening. Mrs. Boaty walked into the hotel room about 25 minutes later when I was still going. And she said, sort of came in and went, "I think I'll go down to the bar for a drink. See you in an hour." And she just scarpered. And that was the turning point for me. From then on, my strange toilet syndrome has never affected me in a hotel. In a hotel, I treat it like home.
Well, I have to say that I did have quite an amazing one in the Airbnb, actually, when we were supposed to be checking out. I seem to remember looking at the time and thinking, oh, my God, we're supposed to be checking out in 10 minutes. And this one's been going on for, 45 minutes and isn't stopping.
Shall we move on?
We could. I'll go back to the comments and see if anyone's been saying any lovely things that are not feces related, shall I?
Well, yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Andrew Buttergeek says, "Barry, just stay away from the vodka and foreign ladies." Oh. Chaz Brown says, all right, Jimmy.
Can I just point
People are
out
saying
that
hi
some
to
of the
Claire and
best,
Chaz.
some of the best nights of my life have involved vodka and foreign ladies, and
Yeah.
I would recommend it.
But not to Barry, because he's got Karen and she's got a Magnum.
Oh yeah, good point. Oh yeah, but don't say that she's intimidating.
Oh yeah, don't say that. She'll get upset.
Yeah, and yeah, ironically, the way in which she told me to stop talking about her being intimidating was very intimidating indeed.
I thought that,
Yeah.
I'm not intimidating, okay, if you say so.
Yeah, whatever you say.
And Barry says, yeah, I don't fancy a 44 Magnum vasectomy.
Ow. Oh.
DJ Paulsy P is here and says, oh, Boaty, you going on about phones, but you do not answer your WhatsApp messages, huh?
Oh, Christ, I bloody well forgot again, didn't I?
He doesn't. Don't take it personally.
Tell him. I'm terrible at replying to messages.
And I'll tell you why. It's because if it's on a phone, it's all little and he has to fiddle around with his big chunky fingers. He's much better at Messenger. If you send him messages on Messenger, well, I'll say much better. He's marginally better. But WhatsApp, text messages, you won't get the reply.
I never reply to them. I never reply to them. And it is for that reason. Now, if you send me a thing on Messenger, now I can use that on iPad. You will get a reply. It might be a month late, but you will get a reply. If you text me or WhatsApp me or anything like that, yeah, forget it. Ain't going to happen. And the thing with the thing was that I don't look at WhatsApp much anyway. But he sent it to the phone-in phone. He sent it to the phone-in phone rather than my personal phone. So I'm never going to look at that, am I? But then he pulled me on it quite rightly in a comment on a video and did kindly say that he hadn't taken offence. And I said, right, I know what happened. I found it now and I will reply. And I've forgotten to reply. And the reason that he wanted me to reply was so he could have my address, so he could send me something. So it's for the very kindest of reasons. And I'm so sorry. I will do it within the next 24 hours.
I'll remind him.
I do apologise.
I'm his personal assistant. I'll remind him.
Well, in fact, you just reply to him. You know my address.
Oh, shall I tell him? You contact me, DJ Paulsy P. I'll give you his address.
This is why I need people. I'm rubbish.
Pardon?
This is why I need people. I'm rubbish.
Andrew Bartik says, Barry, Karen provides a new bunhole. Matron says, hiya, DJ Paulsy. Yes, he's terrible at answering messages.
I am.
Barry says, oh, God, she's back at work and doing lates this week. Jimmy F500 says, no way, I don't see the attraction of iPhones. Well, I've never really desperately wanted an iPhone, but I might have to get one to be able to do joint live streams. But although I think, excuse me, I think that maybe the camera might be better on them. Because your footage, Boaty, when you've been taking film out the front of your car and I've been next to you filming, yours looks better than mine.
It does. Yeah, it does.
So I wonder if I've actually been thinking of getting one purely for doing YouTube things with the hope of, the footage, the visuals being better.
And that's a much old. I imagine your phone is quite current. Mine is an old phone.
Which one is it? What number is it? The iPhone.
I film on a 13.
And was that the case when I was visiting and you were filming like in Llandudno and things like that?
Yeah. That's on an iPhone 13.
Okay.
But from what I can understand, if you can get a Pro.
Okay.
Because in each iPhone, so whether it's iPhone 11, 12, from iPhone 11 onwards, they do 3 versions of iPhone. Well, it's more than that now, but they did 3 versions of iPhone. They did the basic iPhone, which is called iPhone whatever 13. Then they did an iPhone 13 Pro, and then they did an iPhone 13 Pro Max. Now, the difference between the iPhone and the iPhone Pro is that the Pro is lighter because it's made with titanium, but crucially, the Pro has a better camera than the normal iPhone. And then the Pro Max has all of the things that the Pro has, but it's a bigger phone. It's a physically bigger phone with a bigger screen. So the one to go for is the Pro. When I upgrade, it will be, my next upgrade might only be for another iPhone 13, but it'll be an iPhone 13 Pro, so that you get the better camera. I'm told by somebody who claims to know what they're talking about that from 13 onwards, the cameras are much of a muchness. So if you get the Pro, then the improvements in the camera from 13, 14, 15, 16 are not that massive. So basically, a 13 Pro onwards with the correct settings, and I would recommend 4K and 24 frames per second, you're going to get really, really good results with it.
Right, okay, noted. I will give that a go. If I go for the iPhone to try and sort out live stream issues, I'll try and get what you've recommended. Because, like I said, I was wanting to get a second phone to use for filming and things anyway. So yes, I shall look into that.
What do you edit on?
I'll just Windows Movie Maker.
Is that on a PC?
Yeah, a rubbish PC.
How do you get your Nicki Minaj from your phone to your PC?
I plug it in like with the same lead that I use for charging it. Just plug it in the USB port.
Right. This is why I love iPhones and Apple stuff. So, like today, I filmed with two phones. I filmed with this one and with this one. Sometimes it's very useful. So, like when I was having my meal today, and I'm filming the meal, I've got the phone on the gimbal, blah blah blah. But then I want to do a close up of the food. So I'm using a second camera to do this. And in the cable card, I've got one camera going facing one way, the other camera facing the other way, so that I can clip them in together to a montage sort of thing. Now, when I get home, all of the footage from here and here is uploaded automatically to the iCloud without me doing anything about it. And then it's downloaded automatically from the iCloud onto this iPad, that iPad, my MacBook, and my iMac upstairs without me doing a thing. So that when I come to edit tomorrow morning, everything I've filmed on any device is all going to be there waiting for me all in one place. I don't have to plug anything in. I don't have to use a memory card, nothing like that. And I find that incredibly useful.
Oh, it's time saving, isn't it, as well?
Yeah. And just, it's so easy. So I would go Apple just for that.
I'd have to get myself an iPad as well.
Yeah, well, you'd want to anyway, because I hated Apple. I thought everybody who bought Apple products were sheep and idiots. And the only reason I ever had an iPhone was because when my mother passed away, we used to have this debate all the time. I used to be Nokia, then I became a BlackBerry man. My mother went down the iPhone route, and she always swore it was so much better and the phone was sexier and this, that, and the other. I told her she was an idiot. When she passed away, for sentimental reasons, I started using her phone. And I just thought, hang on, this is so much better. So then I bought an iPad instead of my BlackBerry Playbook. I had money then. And I thought, hang on, this is a load better as well. And they work really well between them. So then I bought an iMac. And I thought, well, this is a million times better than a stupid Windows thing. And I just cursed myself for having been an idiot and not gone there a lot sooner. So, I'm a massive Apple fan now. I'm not a slave to them. I don't have to have the latest models. My iMac is 15 years old, still works better than my laptop, which is like 2 years old. And I tend to have old models, as I say. The newest thing I've got is the iPhone 13, 3 years old now, still works beautifully. So you're not going to see me in the queue to get the latest Apple thing when it comes out on the 20th or whenever it is. I couldn't afford it anyway. But I just think that they are better in virtually every way. And everything they make is better than the competition. Their laptops are better than Windows laptops. Their PCs are better than Windows PCs. Their iPads are better than any other tablet, and the iPhone is better than any other phone. End of story, really.
Well, my PC is kind of getting near to being on its last legs, and I'm trying to decide what to do to replace it. And I have been considering whether I should go for, go towards Apple or just get, I don't know what I'm doing yet, but it's something for me to consider. Especially if I get an iPhone, then it probably makes sense I get Apple products.
If you gave me a choice between a brand new PC or a 10-year-old iMac, I'd go for the 10-year-old iMac.
Yeah, okay.
Honestly. I mean, the one I've got upstairs, I made a video about it. I paid £74 for it on eBay, and it works like it's brand new. It's 15 years old. And it's still as quick as that. My laptop barely works. That's two years old. And
yeah, my laptop's died.
I don't need it anymore because I've got the old MacBook just down there.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I've been thinking about anyway. So yeah, I'll definitely be looking into that. Shall we go back to the comments? Because I feel like we've probably, we haven't looked at them for a very long time.
Yeah, what a good idea. I'm going to get myself a glass of wine.
Oh, I was going to ask though, when you were in the cable car today, did you manage to get one to yourself? Because you said you had like the gimbal set up and things.
Yeah, I had it to myself.
I was frustrated when I took my footage in the cable car of you being terrified that one of the people in the cable car, one of the women, was laughing repeatedly through it. And when I watched that, it makes it seem like I'm laughing hysterically, but I wasn't. I was trying to be very quiet because I was, taking film. But I remember the woman sitting opposite us was laughing away at you being scared, and all you can hear is her giggling in the background.
It's much better when you've got it to yourself. So what I did is I got the best footage on the way down, actually. So what I did is I put one phone on the floor in the gimbal, and I just left it there. So that just got continuous footage on the way down. And then I was out of the other window with my other phone. So I had, to myself on the way up and to myself on the way down. It was nowhere near as busy today as it was when we were.
It was summer holidays, wasn't it, when we went?
Yeah, there was no queue either. I was straight on going up and had to wait about 10 minutes to go down.
You had no one to hold your hand today.
I know.
You had to do it yourself.
Yeah, and I was really brave too. Hardly wet myself at all.
I think it would be wonderful if you could do like a little series of you taking different people up the heights of Abraham. That could be quite fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it would. It's yeah, I mean, I would love to do it. I would love to do it. It's quite an expensive treat for them, of course, but.
Oh yes, of course. But you get, because you've got an annual pass, they get I can't remember what it was. Was it 20% off or something?
20% off, yeah.
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 Anyway.
And I would provide a picnic lunch. I really want to go back on Wednesday and either take a picnic or take some lunch in my food flask thing.
Well, yeah, that's a good idea. Why Wednesday? Any reason?
Well, I can only really do stuff Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Oh, because of work, yeah.
Because of work. And the weather's going to be, tomorrow would be the best day. because tomorrow's going to be even hotter than today and blazing sunshine all day. Wednesday's going to be warmer than tomorrow, but a little bit cloudy. But I was up there today, and it was a different dynamic. It was quieter, it was more peaceful. The birds were singing. I just found it incredibly restful and wonderful. And you know, there's picnic tables everywhere there, and you got your choice of them. And I thought, you know, I'd love to just bring a picnic up here and just literally come up for lunch, get the cable car up, have lunch, bugger off.
Did you go up the tower, the Victoria Prospect Tower?
No, I couldn't be asked.
There are quite nice views up there if you fancy it.
Yeah, right. But my idea is, and I say this on the video, my idea is that if I'm going to be going there quite regularly, which I plan to do, I will do one thing each time.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So today was the cafe review, and I didn't do anything else specifically. So the next time I go, I'll do one thing. I don't want to...
so you're not constantly repeating the same thing each time.
Yeah, exactly.
But you've been up it twice now, so that's the money's worth. So anything extra, any more times you go is a
bonus. Yeah.
Yeah. So
but genuinely, it was
be good. I look forward to the video tomorrow.
It was so lovely up there, so restful, so peaceful, and yeah, it's very much worth the fairly short journey to just go up there and have a lunch. Now, the lunch was disappointing, quite honestly.
Oh, was it? Oh.
Yeah. It was a little disappointing on a couple of notes, really. One was that it was more expensive than it is on their website.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like that. I don't like it when they advertise something at one price, and then when you get there, it's a different price. So on their website it says hot dog and chips is £6.50, and when I got there it was £7.75.
Right, yeah, that's quite a difference, yeah.
Yeah, I just think that's a little bit of a Swiss, but I think I probably had the wrong thing. Because you remember when we were there and we were in the restaurant, but we were looking at the cafe people and the cafe plates, and those paninis looked lovely, didn't they? With nice fresh salad and all of that. So I should have gone for a panini instead of hot dog and chips. It was £9.20 for hot dog and chips, and a very small drink, a tiny glass of diet Pepsi. So not the end of the world, but you know. It's not a lot of money, is it? But it's a lot of money to me. So I couldn't do that every time. But take a picnic. Just take a picnic up there, or take some hot food in my food flask or something like that, and just sit there. A bit like the Land Rover lunch kind of thing, you know. Just sit there, chill out with nature for a couple of hours, and bugger off. What a lovely break in the day.
No, I think it sounds great. It was a good idea. Well done for getting out and doing it, and using your pass and being out in the fresh air and lovely weather.
Oh, and I've got my proper pass now with my picture on it and everything.
Oh, right.
Let me show you. You remember I had that cardboard temporary one that they gave me?
Yeah, I didn't know it's temporary.
Oh, well, now I've got the proper one with my picture on it.
Oh, right.
So, yeah, that's quite cool, isn't it?
Oh, so then when you finish with it, you've got like a little souvenir as well. There's another thing to stick a magnet on the back of.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I will do exactly that. I'll tell you what, next year when it expires, I'm getting another one.
Good idea. If you think about the cost for a whole year, it's worth it if you're going to get the use out of it.
Yeah, and I love the idea of having, taking other community people up there and having a lunch up there, having a picnic.
I'd love to see that. I'd love that to be a series of, taking the community up the heights of Abraham, because it is an experience in those cable cars for the first time, and just to see people's reactions, like whether they find it a little bit if they're a bit nervous, or if they love it, or if they swing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I suppose I better read some comments, because honestly we must be way behind on them. Barry says, siphon the python. Andrew Buttergeek says, Boaty's next purchase, a chamber pot. DJ Palsy P said, I was going to send him a free DJ Palsy P coaster, but he can run and jump now. Jimmy F500 said, good crowd in tonight. I've noticed that. It was nearly up to 50 viewers at one point.
Good.
Matron says, point Percy at the postman. That's Boaty liberating his tinkle of a morning. See, that's how far behind we are. You said that right at the start.
Oh, bloody hell.
Peter P said, is that a spider singing? Because that was me singing right at the start when I was singing Lord Stiff Upper Lip sang a song at the beginning, as he always does. Can't remember what it was now. It was Some People Call Me the Space Cowboy. It was that one. Jimmy F500 said, is there a ghost in the house? Sound, but no one there. See, it's me singing right at the start. And so we're an hour later. We're an hour behind. Andrew Buttergeek said, the ghost sounds suspiciously like Victoria Karen Mitchell. Do people still think I sound like her? Matron says, is the spider talking? Mo does a wonderful job. Peter P says, that was a 2-chapter session, Boaty. Yeah, did you read any of your book when you popped to the toilet?
No, I was looking at my phone. Well, I was messaging you and Matron, wasn't I? I was literally doing that in the middle of it.
Oh no, I meant just at the beginning of this live stream. I think you popped to the toilet.
Oh yeah, of course. I always do.
I like the way that you just confessed to messaging me and Matron while you were on the toilet. So not only were you on the toilet trying to stop anyone from hearing what you were doing, you were also sending messages to everybody. Sean James Cameron says, I'm eating baked beans, which will make me poo all day tomorrow, but they need to be eaten at some point. Here we go, back to the poo. And Andrew Buttergeek says to you, Boaty, don't forget to wash your hands and put £1 in the box.
You keep going. I'll do that.
Matron says, Fernhill by Dylan Thomas, and she's put a link. Andrew Buttergeek says, the musical Fruit, Sean. Peter P says to Sean, good day to visit a supermarket then. And you can have a bubble bath tomorrow, Sean, says Jimmy F500. Andrew Buttergeek advises, stay away from aisles 3, 4, and 5. Peter P says, will there be a number of the week? I don't know. Maybe. Matron says, Emma blows her nose when voice messaging me. I usually have headphones on. It's a great dietary aid. Sorry, Tracy. Didn't realise it was that bad, actually. Matron says, I think all 4 of us burped in the caravan. I don't think. Mustard definitely did an opera burp because I was laughing at that while Boaty was trying to have a discussion about the riots. Peter B says, Emma does have a voice that gets bodily doings going. That sounds a bit worrying. Are you saying that when you hear me speaking, it makes you want to go for a poo? Andrew Buttergeek says, I thought he said Goldilocks. He said Gollocks. The one and only Neil is here, says, hello all, how are we? We are great, Neil. How are you? I hope you're healing nicely. Jimmy and Mighty Quinn says, don't forget to like, and that's a very important comment. 49 people watching. Come on. Hit that like button. People are saying hi to Neil. Jimmy Quinn says, Boaty Bull, and he puts like about 100 poo emojis, so he means it a lot. Peter P says, Boaty the Clan did no bomber. Barry says, I have ordered a meat lover's pizza. I'll go to the gym later. And Lord Stiff Upper Lip is singing, welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place. Such a lovely face. Plenty of room at the Hotel California. Any time of year. You can find it here. That must have been in response to us talking about the Grand Hotel in Llandudno.
Yeah, and I would like to point out that using my idea of inflationary language, then California would become California. Thank you.
Ah. Mm.
Yeah. Darling, you have three of the most beautiful eyes I've ever seen. Sorry, carry on.
Tracy kindly has put my channel link in the description. So if anybody would like to see what I look like, then they please go and check out Emma Lemon with 2 N's on YouTube, and you can watch amazing videos that I have created especially for your visual enjoyment. The one and only Neil says, hey, Matron, Barry, Andrew, hope you're all well. And they're saying, yeah, we're great, thanks. Matron says, when do you start your new job, Neil? Oh, Barry says, pizza is here, but this was an hour ago, so he's probably eaten it by now. And Matron says she would love you to check out her channel, and she puts a link. So do check that out, but not right now, because you're listening to me, and I'm important. Oh, and Boaty is too. Pingu Concord is here, says, greetings, dishonourable table bloke.
Greetings.
That is actually quite a dishonourable table, actually. I've heard what goes on that table.
Not for a while, mate.
Neil says he starts his job on the 23rd. Matron says, nice one, Neil. And brilliant, Neil, says Andrew. Pingu says, salutations, Honourable Andrew. Project Nigel is here and says, hello, everyone. Just popped in to do a like. Still editing as usual. I'm sure that Mustard just says he's editing when he just doesn't feel like, communicating with people, because that's all he ever says.
Yeah, well, if you look at his channels now, then Captain Mustard, he does nothing with it. The Steve Berry thing, he does one a week. And Project Nigel, he puts out about one a fortnight. So what is he editing all the time? I mean, it's not bloody videos, because there aren't any.
Maybe he's got, a side project on some, dodgy channel. He's editing that, but he doesn't want to let it be known.
Yeah.
You know how it is, Boaty.
Oh, I do.
People say, Captain Mustard. Jimmy says, hi, Paul, great video today. Andrew says, hello, Captain Mustard, darling. Simone is here. She says, hi, good evening. Oh, she says, good evening all as well. Evening, Simone. Hope you're well. Pingu says, Mr. Boaty, your resident ghost seems to have developed a classy female voice. This is the voice of the ghost speaking. And Matron put out Simone's link to Simone's channel if anyone would like to check that out too. And Matron says it's not the ghost, it's a spider that's speaking. Andrew Buttigieg says, the first rule of book club is there are no rules. I've also heard what happens at book club stays at book club. Lord Stepopoulos is recommending Fly Fishing by J.R. Hartley. Claire says she would absolutely love a wine club and book club.
I think they are both good ideas.
I think they are too, even though they're not my thing. I think it's a fantastic idea for live streams and things.
Yeah.
Yay! I saw the cloth land on your head then. I know you did it 5 seconds ago, but I've seen it now. I was impressed.
Thank you.
Andrew Butsky says, I like books with lots of pictures. And Matron has thrown out Project Nigel's link too. She's throwing all the links out tonight. Barry says, I like books with a good mystery thriller plot, lots of action, but with good characters. And I think that Barry could probably recommend a few books to everyone if interested. Jimmy Quinn says, sorry, I don't read books. And Boaty, you drink shit wine. Sorry, I said a swear word. Is that okay?
Yeah, because I'm poor, Jimmy. If I had your money, mate, I'd drink wine like you do, but I'm poor. You have to cut your cloth according to your means. Yeah.
Well, there's a plan. If you're doing the wine club thing, if the person who selects the wine for the week has to send you a bottle of it so you can join in.
Oh, what a good idea.
So each week somebody selects a wine, they send Boaty a bottle so that he can make sure, because it's not fair if the host can't join in with sampling the wine that's been chosen. So yeah, what a good idea. I think that's a good idea. Barry says, as someone with ADHD, I can confirm that. That's about the reading thing. So yeah, thank you, Barry. I haven't got any diagnosed things like that, but there's a few things in my traits in my personality or whatever you call it that make me wonder if I have a touch of ADHD somewhere. Matron says Barry is one of our lovely channel members, and please have a look at his channel. She's thrown that link out. She's full of the links tonight. It's Tracy. Jimmy F500 said, actually, my mind wanders too. And Andrew Butterkey says, bloody heck, that happens to me when reading, regarding not absorbing what's on the page. I don't think the book club's going to go down too well, because everybody says they have the same problem as me. Matron says, do you have a YouTube channel? I'll shout you out. Pingu says, Miss Emma Lemons, have you tried reading using a coloured filter on top? No, I haven't, actually. Why? Out of interest.
And Matron, don't forget a link for Sean's channel as well. He's a massive supporter, so he should have I mean, I know he doesn't need the subscribers, but yeah, he should have a shout out anyway. Fair's fair.
I think so too. When I've mentioned him regarding the weight loss challenge on my videos, I've been putting the link, even though I've only got like 279 subscribers at the last count.
I'm looking forward to doing my first weekly check-in on Wednesday or Thursday. I'm pretty confident that I've hit my target.
Right. Barry says, if it's something I find interesting, then I'm fine. If it's something that doesn't interest me, wild horses couldn't engage me. Probably ADHD with a touch of lazybones. Peter P says, so Tracy is the, in quotes, normal one. No, I wouldn't say that. Matron says, not being able to get absorbed into a fiction book is also a sign of autism. Not being able to get absorbed into the doings. Oh gosh, sorry, I'm just getting comfortable.
Well, Peter P, I might be jumping ahead a little bit, but Peter P says, did you film a Boaty's bug review today? And honestly, joking apart, I wanted to. I genuinely wanted to, and I got my phone out, and I started doing a Boaty's bugs because I thought it's a shame to waste the opportunity. And then things started happening, and I thought, oh God, I can't. I mean, right, if you've seen any of the Boaty's bugs videos, then heads up, right, they're not real. I mean, I was genuinely in that bug, but I wasn't doing anything. My trousers might have been around my ankles, but I still had my underpants on, and there was absolutely nothing happening. And any noises that you may have heard were sound effects that I just put over the video. Now, if I'd have filmed today, it was so obviously not a sound effect that I would have been kicked off YouTube for it. So I didn't dare do it. But I do love Boaty's bugs. I love the idea of it. And I will do a Boaty's bugs at the height of Abraham when it's a less in extremis situation, because they're supposed to be amusing. And today would not have been amusing. Today would have been, well, quite frankly, traumatic. It would have been horrendous. And although that might have worked, because when I got a very different kind of troll when I was doing Boaty's bugs. I had, so I did a few of them, and I had two people who started messaging me, both men, and they were both effectively saying that they'd love to have been in that lavatory with me so that they could fillet me either during or after I finished my business. True. I've still got the messages.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Barry says, Boaty's bog confessions. Mr. Tickle is here, and he said, good evening, everyone. Sorry I'm late.
Mr. Tickle. We love Mr. Tickle.
Concord has put at Smashing Pistons. I'm not sure why. That's confusing me.
I think that was in response to Matron saying, has anybody else got a YouTube channel? But Simon hasn't been into a live stream or commented on a video for about a year now. So I think it's safe to say that, sadly, He's decided that he doesn't really want to be part of our community anymore. Thank you very much. So there we are. There we are.
Jimmy from Florida says, yes, Boaty can use the urinals at all in case someone comes in. Can't use, presumably that's supposed to say. Matron says, your female voice on the phone is Emma. Her channel is here. Thank you very much, Matron. People are saying hi to each other again. And Matron reminds, don't forget to like and subscribe.
I love this next comment.
Especially as there's 47 people in at the moment.
I love this next comment. Just saying.
Barry says, it's the shitting forecast. Mr. Tickle says,
Fisher,
okay, that looks like I've
German
just
bite.
in time to hear about Boaty releasing a chocolate hostage. Maybe that could be part of the title for this evening's live stream.
I think that's a very good idea. I will screenshot that. Well done, Mark on motoring.
Andrew Buttergeek says, nobody likes to be startled mid-drop.
Exactly.
And Peter P says, no, this is a shite horror story. Tracy's put out Mark on Motoring's channel.
Our very own
Barry
Mr.
says,
Tickle.
Barry says, for any new listeners, this is the usual way the group goes.
Yeah, pretty much. Sorry.
Mr. Tickle says, who does number 2 work for? How about a courtesy flush, says Peter P.
Sorry, I've just read. Sorry, I've just read ahead. I've just read Peter P's comment. Oh my God!
Produced a goodly dollar. That might be a good title as well.
I can't. I've used that, haven't I? That was the title of my last video.
Yeah, that's so funny.
That's why it's funny. Oh God!
What goes in has to come out. Jimmy FF says, seriously, IBS must be stressful. It is a little bit. Barry says, Boaty is £6 lighter. Yes, you're cheating, Boaty. You're saying you're managing to lose the weight. It's because you haven't stopped plopping.
Yeah, well, if it
and
works,
then again, if that was the case, I should be about 4 stone.
Yeah, exactly. No,
I mean, Buttergeek says it's enough to give you the shit. Jimmy FF said the mind does strange things to us. Andrew Buttergeek says chocolate buttons. Peter P says foreign toilet syndrome must be a real problem when you lived abroad, Boaty.
Well, actually, no. I never had that problem. I never had that problem because most of the time that, well, in fact, with the exception of the Malta trips, then all of the time that I spent overseas, I never went overseas as a tourist. So the hotel thing didn't kick in and the strange toilet syndrome didn't kick in. I lived in these countries. When I was in Africa, I lived in Africa. When I was in Ukraine, I lived in Ukraine. When I was in America, I lived in America. So my lavatory was my lavatory. So the fact that it was foreign didn't matter.
It was your home, yeah.
Yeah, that was absolutely fine. I mean, the worst lavatory experience I had was at a very remote French service station on one of the autoroutes, where the lavatory was 2 stones where you put your feet and a hole in the ground. I didn't think those existed anymore, but we found one. That was on a road trip with the artist formerly known as Mrs. Boaty and the mothership, Mumbo, my mum. So yeah, that was. But no, I never had a problem with foreign lavatories because I've always hated the idea of a British tourist going to somewhere where they might as well be in bloody Britain, having their full English breakfast, going to the British pub. I hated the idea of that. When I travelled, then I avoided anything touristy like the plague, and I would rent or buy a house or an apartment, or a villa or whatever where I was. And I would live there, and I would try to live like a local. I would do nothing touristy. I would drive. I would I would try to learn the local language, and I would try to live like a local person, so I get a genuine sense of what the country was like. The only small exception to that was in Ukraine, where I will admit, Ukraine was dodgy when I was there. I mean, God knows it's dodgy now, but for different reasons. When I was there, Ukraine was dodgy. So, admittedly, in Ukraine, I had Victor, and he was my translator. Because I was living with Lena in Ukraine. God, she was beautiful. And we had Victor, who was our bodyguard, stroke translator, stroke driver. Other than that, everywhere else I lived, I did it off my own bat or with whoever I was with at the time, and I would buy a car and just drive like a local, etc. You might think that when I was in Africa that was a bit dodgy, but it really wasn't, because I was in North Africa. I was actually based for my time in Africa. I was based in Tunisia, dreadful place. And of course, in many North African countries, then French is the second language. And if you ever see pictures of me from back in those days, I was so dark. Obviously, being mixed race, I tan very, very easily, and I used to tan very dark. And when I was in Africa, I could speak French because back then I was reasonably fluent in French, and I was so dark that I was never taken for an Englishman anyway. I just got taken and treated as a local. But yeah, wherever I was, when I was in the States, when I was in Cyprus, when I was in Belgium, when I was living in France, I just lived the local life. Best way, I think.
You talking about the hole in the floor toilets did remind me when I went to India years ago. Yeah, when a lot of experiences with a hole in the floor where you just have to crouch over it. But thankfully, I didn't have IBS then, because when with my issues, I sometimes need to have at least half an hour, and I couldn't be crouching down over a hole for half an hour.
Well,
Goodness me.
again, bringing back memories. I won't bang on about this now because we've spoken too much about this subject. But if you've ever climbed Kilimanjaro, then you will be familiar with the sheer terror of the long drop, as they're known, the long drop toilets. God. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. I'll go no further on that one.
Well, Andrew Buttergeek says legs 11, and then he says, number 2, Boaty needs a poo. Mr. Tickle says, I tend to find if I travel further west on holiday, I can go days without going. But if I go east, though, let's just say it's not only the click that goes, the clock that goes forward. Jimmy F500 says, oh dear. Simone says, food news. Yay. I had chicken in white sauce with egg fried rice washed down with some Diet Coke. Nom nom nom, says Andrew. Matron says, good to know food is going in, Simone. Hope things are a little better and improving now. And she replies, Matron, I'm still bricking myself in the morning, dreading the letterbox. I know what you mean, Simone, says Matron. And Simone says, I was supposed to go to the shops today, but my anxiety was too much. I need milk and cat litter. Massive hugs to you, Simone, says Andrew.
Yeah,
and take a
deep breath, that.
Simone, and focus on your own thing, says Barry.
I'm familiar with anxiety to that level. So I send every sympathy, Simone, and empathy.
Yeah. I'm familiar with it too. So it's crippling, isn't it?
Yeah.
She says, thanks, guys. Tracy's thrown out loads of links, including Well, yours, Boaty. So yeah.
Oh, finally, that's nice. Thank you.
Maybe the Facebook group as well, Nathan.
Oh, good show. Yeah.
Jimmy 500 says, "You're a proper YouTuber then, Boaty." And Project 9 says, "I'm here, yeah."
Mustard.
Cloud is a stupid name for a computer server. Peter P is sending hugs to Simone and Georgia. Jimmy 500 says, "Are you taking something for that cough, Emma?" Oh, I'm sorry if I've been coughing. I'll try not to. I haven't got a cough. It's just I just cough sometimes.
Right. A little bit of advice from an old man who's learned a few tricks along the way. If you've got an annoying tickly cough, or if you've just got a habit where you keep clearing your throat without realizing that you're doing it, my advice to you would be this. Buy some laxatives. Read the instruction label very carefully. And when it says do not take more than X amount of tablets, take 3 times that amount. That will cure the problem because you will be too frightened to cough, certainly after the first time you do it.
Yeah, I know laxatives can be powerful. I thought you were going to say, take this advice from me. You said, if you've got an annoying, I thought you were going to say, if you've got an annoying co-presenter.
I didn't realize how often I coughed until I started YouTubing and obviously editing videos. All I'm doing is bloody editing out coughs because, and it's not because I'll tell you what it is, seeing as we're talking about our bodily dysfunctions. I've got nasal polyps, darlings, and that means that I've got a post-nasal drip. So in other words, I've got balloons of stuff up my nasal orifices, and they just constantly drip the stuff down the back of my throat. Now, when I'm awake, that means that every so often I go, which is really annoying when you're editing a bloody video and you kind of don't realize that you're doing it. When it becomes more of a problem is when you are asleep, because then everything just trickles down the back of your throat, this bloody post-nasal drip. And when you wake up from your sleep, it's all congealed there, and you spend the first 20 minutes of your morning trying to get that plug cleared. It's most unpleasant indeed, I can assure you of that. So there you go. We all have our early morning issues.
I think the thing is, when I'm doing the live stream, usually I have a microphone on, and if I need to cough, I will mute it. But with the phone, it's a bit more faffy, and I haven't been. But I was moving the phone well away from my face when I was having and trying to cough gently. So sorry if it's been annoying for anybody, and I will try to stop it.
I haven't heard you cough, but then I've not really been listening to you.
Oh, thanks. Why change the habit? Matron says, an early finish for you for once, Mustard, and people saying, hi, Captain Darling. Andrew Buttigieg said, I thought just plugging the phone into the computer would be easier than the cloud faff. I think that what you meant, Boaty, did you mean it just goes straight to the cloud?
Yeah, you don't have to do anything at all. As soon as, see, I'm doing it again. As soon as any 2 of your devices are on a shared Wi-Fi thing, they just automatically give what they've got to the cloud, and the cloud automatically gives it to everybody else. So that's the reason why I've never gone down the road of getting a GoPro or a DJI handheld thing or anything like that, because I couldn't be asked with the faff of having to plug it into a computer or take the card out and put the card into a computer. I don't even use a computer for my editing. I deliberately bought the best edit suite that you can buy that is designed for iPad. And I do everything on my iPad. I don't have to plug anything into anything. I don't have to worry about cards, memory cards, and it's brilliant. you just record on, sometimes I record on 3 iPhones. And certainly if and when I upgrade, and I stopped paying for this iPad in October, and at that point, because I've been paying that amount of money anyway, at that point I might upgrade a phone. So I've got an extra phone and a better phone, but it won't be costing me any more per month. I will then be recording on 3 iPhones, and you just think of the faff, because proper YouTubers, I'm not one of them, proper YouTubers, especially in a car, they'll have a camera here, a camera there, a camera facing forward. I've done it myself. I've had multiple cameras in a car. Imagine the faff of having to plug all of those into your computer or transfer the cards from all. I don't have to do any of that. I just bring them back into the house and I put them on charge. And if they're on charge and sharing the same Wi-Fi, they just automatically upload everything to the cloud, and then the cloud automatically downloads everything to everything else. So everything that I've filmed today on this, on that, and had I filmed it on anything else, it's already all gone up to the cloud, all gone onto all of my other devices. And tomorrow morning, when I start to edit today's video, which I hope is going to be a really good one, and I hope you all enjoy it, it's all just going to be there waiting for me. And I haven't had to do a thing other than get drunk and go to sleep and eat curry.
Here's a question. So say you were filming on 3 different devices and you said it all automatically goes on. Does it sort of put it in an order? So say you filmed on 3 devices in the cable car, and then you filmed on 3 devices at lunch, and then another somewhere else. Would it put them all together, or would it all be separate? So this is all of this device, this is all of this device.
No, it puts it all together, but it puts it in chronological order. So irrespective.
Yeah, that's what I wondered. Yeah.
Yeah. Irrespective of which device it's on, it obviously knows what time it was filmed. So it will automatically, it will be in chronological order of the time when the film started.
So that's good, because like if I was doing it on 3 devices and then plugging them all in, they'd all be in separately, and you'd have to work out,
and that would be a nightmare. And it's great. So I mean, I'll give you an example. There's you'll see it in the video tomorrow. There's a section of film where I've got my one camera in the gimbal. It's looking at me. I'm eating my food. I'm about to eat my food, and then I want to show you my food. So I go get my other camera, and while that one is still filming, I'm actually filming on this, and I'm saying, "Yep. So this is my hot dog. I'm going to add ketchup and mustard," and that will all be in the correct order. So when I come to edit it, it's already, half of the job is already done for me. Everything is in the correct order. So I don't even have to do that. It's amazing.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Oh, it's brilliant.
So it is worth the faff. Simone says, Mustard, have you ever driven a Saxo? Andrew Butterkey says, or eaten an Oxo. Project Nigel says, Simone, I haven't, although. Matron is wanting to know if Mustard is going to ring into Beast Boaty. Now, I'm on the phone that people would usually ring into Beast Boaty, so I just thought I'd mention that. Simone says, I drove one for my channel. It's a fun little car.
Yeah, I thought that you would, I thought you'd ring me on my private number and leave this number open. I meant to mention that.
I didn't think. I could swap over if you want me to.
No, it's too late now. We don't want people ringing in now. We want to get off. I'm hungry. I want my curry.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I used to ring on your private number, actually, didn't I, when I did it before?
You did.
Oh, I failed. Sorry about that. I won't do it again.
They can ring me tomorrow.
Project Nigel said that he can't ring in anyway.
Oh, well, there we are.
Mr. Tickle
says... He doesn't love me anymore, does he? He doesn't want to come and see me. He doesn't watch my live streams. He can't be asked to ring in. I need a new best friend.
Oh.
Only joking.
And would you like to audition to be Boaty's new best friend, I will, if you send your application to me, I will have a look through and I will pass any that seem eligible on to Mr. Boaty himself for him to do the final audition. And look what you could win.
Look at what you could have won.
Mark on Motoring, Mr. Tickle, of course, says, I was looking at the Mac Studio last year to replace my PC, which is now well over a decade old. The problem is that I didn't have a spare £2,000 just for the Mac, excluding any of the required accessories. Well, this is my problem. Barry says, Kung Fu just had a saxo. I couldn't get in it. Too big to fit even then. Tracy Cardiff says, I forgot it was a 10 p.m. start. It's okay, Tracy. All you missed was constant talk about poo. Honestly, there wasn't much else. I had an iPhone for work and got fed up with constant updates. Oh, is that the... Actually, my daughter, she had an iPhone and she loved it. But then when she ran an update on it, it completely threw her camera off and we couldn't work out how to get past that. So we ended up buying a new one. Simone says, take the front seat out, Barry. Peter P says, wine a clack. So that's where we're up to. Barry said, I had the Maestro at the time. I changed to the 2.8i Capri, and Claire refused to get in it, saying it was a pimp mobile. Andrew Butterkey says, high tower style, Simone. Mr. Tickles, Simone, I reviewed a Saxo VTR last year. I remember them being very popular cars back in the day, though. Hadn't driven one in period. I see this car talk I don't really understand, but hey, I'm just reading it out. Simone says, High Tower was cool. And Mark, I will have a look at your video. Peter P says, Saxo with sunroof for the longer chap. Barry says, maybe take Sean to the Heights of Abraham. I was going to suggest that, actually. When he visits you, you certainly need to take him to the Chippy in Carver.
Oh,
Calver.
Carver.
Oh, yes, Sean, would you like to go up the Heights of Abraham? That'd be an interesting video. I think you should. Matron says, you will be sad to know you missed an in-depth poo and pooping conversation, Project Nigel, earlier. I'm sure he won't be that sad to know it. Mr. Tickle says to Simone, I enjoyed your Saxo video, Simone. Well done. Peter P said it might start up again when and if they get to the comments. This is true. Poo round 2, Peter P, says Matron. Mr. Tickle said, Boaty's got an official pass with Mr. and Reverend on it. How very official. And Matron says, only an hour behind with the comments. And Jimmy F500 says, Reverend, my arse.
Jimmy F500 and anybody else who cares to take an interest, I can assure you that I am an ordained minister of the church. I really am a reverend. You can check. We are on a database, and no, it's not the sex offenders database. But yeah, it's well, some are on the sex offenders database, to be fair. No, it's a very real thing. I am an ordained minister of the church. I am a reverend minister. Reverend is my title, and I don't use it all that often, but occasionally, and when it's legally necessary, I do. And and this is the reason why Neil and Sophie are talking about me officiating at their wedding when it comes, which would be rather fun. But yeah, it's not a fun thing. It's not a joke thing. I genuinely am a fully ordained reverend minister of the church. I've got a nice certificate of ordination, which I really ought to frame. And somewhere I've got a little card that I can carry with me, and when I'm in other countries, and it says, look, this bloke's a God botherer. Leave him alone. He's on God's work, or something like that. But yeah, the thing on the, that's a cock-up on the annual pass. They've put me down as Mr. Reverend. So they've double titled me, whereas my title is Reverend or the Reverend, blah, blah, blah.
And Chaz Brown says, what, Reverend Boaty?
Yeah.
DJ Palsy P says, I'm out. Probably read this in 3 hours.
Yeah, probably.
And Matron says the title of this stream needs to be something to do with poo, and I think we had some suggestions of that anyway now.
Yeah, I screenshotted one of them.
Oh, sorry.
I screenshotted one of them.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going to go.
Alan Simpson says, greetings, Emma Lumps and the nautical one.
Greetings, Alan Simpson, keeper of the Little Chef Anaraki box. I want one of those blue plates. I really want one of those blue breakfast plates. And
well, there was one available a while back, but that's gone now, hasn't it?
Yeah, for 73 quid.
Yeah, but the one in that picture that Alan put on Facebook was the one that didn't have the scalloped edging. I don't know what that one went for, because there was that available, but I passed over that one because I thought, oh, it's not, they've got that special edging, maybe it's not genuine, but it clearly was.
The one thing I will say is that my food tasted better off my early starter plate. 100%.
Well, I'm so glad that I managed to make your food taste better.
And I'm tempted. Well, I'm not that tempted because I haven't got the money. But there is an early starter plate on the Oxfam UK website.
I saw that, but it's expensive. Yeah.
It's cheaper than the one on eBay.
Yeah, the one. Yeah, but when I think about what I got yours for, there'll be another one that comes up for that price.
Yeah, probably will be.
I mean, mine. What I paid was in the 20-something. You know?
Oh, was it really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I just, and that wasn't very long ago at all. And I think Alan said, didn't he? If there's not many around, they tend to go for more. But at some point, there'll probably be several on, and then you'll get a bargain. Yeah. I wasn't willing to go over £30, and I got one that was 20-something, including the postage. So yeah.
It's nothing. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. If I get another one, either a blue or a red one, then I will use them. If the price rise is a continual thing, then that one is going to get mounted on the wall, and breakfast will be on one of my. I have got breakfast plates. Oddly enough, you know, when we were at what's it called? What was it called? That place in Llandudno?
Carver.
Was it Carver?
The breakfast place.
Yeah, with the cake. Yeah. That's
Carver
right.
Cafe. Yeah.
Right. You know the plates that we had, those really long oblongy ones. Yeah. And a lot of places tend to serve breakfast on those oblongy plates. I've got those. I have got those. So I could put the Little Chef plate on the wall somewhere there or there. There would be ideal. I would like to have it just above. Well, literally just above you, just above the live stream camera. And I will use my proper breakfast plates. The reason I haven't used those is because, I won't go into that. It's too late at night. I'll tell you another night. It's got to do with the Boots bamboo pattern and the fact that they came out because Chinese madam wanted to use them. And they're on the breakfast plate and I can't be asked to move them. I need to put them all back in their boxes in the cupboard over there. And I need to sell something and buy that sake set off eBay that I didn't know existed, and now I know that I need. Sorry, carry on.
Well, when I was there, I seem to remember us discussing where the plate might look best, and I remember above the table, at the end of the table, we were saying that looked like a nice spot for it. And then, when you're eating or doing your live streams, you can gaze at it.
Oh, it'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? And it's red, so it's the perfect theme for the kitchen. In fact, I might forget about getting another one because they're too valuable to use now, really, aren't they? And maybe I will just get the wall mounting kit and maybe I will just wall mount it. And that's an end to that. And I will love it every day. And that way I can see it. At the moment, it's in the cupboard. It's in the Boots bamboo Chinese dinner set cupboard. And I can't see it. If it was there on the wall, I'd get pleasure from it every day.
Well, I think that's a good idea. Okay. Because you really, really wanted one.
Yeah.
And it's, then you can enjoy it.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that.
Andrew Buttigieg, you're saying California instead of California, obviously. Jimmy F500 said, Pornhub side mixer. I'm not sure what we're talking about here. John Stoodley is here, says, evening gang, hope all is okay this evening. Hey, Boaty, hey, Emma. Good evening, John, I hope you're doing okay. Alan Simpson says, with his luscious locks, ample manliness, and considerable charisma, I reckon Mustard, I thought I was going to talk about you, Boaty. I reckon Mustard is actually an 80s wrestler who is starring on the retro circuit when not editing. And Andrew Buttigieg agrees with free wine for Boaty. That should be the name of your wine club, shouldn't
Yeah.
it? And Alan El Mostardo. Alan Simpson says, Matron has more links than the Richmond factory. Simone says, I lost a subscriber yesterday. Oh, Simone, I'm sure that there'll be another one.
Don't worry about that. I lose at least one every day. And
well, yeah, I have that. Oh, I've lost a few subscribers, and then suddenly it's like, oh, like I lost a couple of subscribers. I thought, well, there won't be any more coming along for a while because I'm not putting any videos out for a few days. And then all of a sudden, I look today, and they're the highest they've ever been. I thought, oh, that's nice.
They are, you see.
They just come along when you're not expecting it.
Yeah, they're like buses.
Just like Boaty's fart.
That was the fridge door.
It wasn't.
It was.
It's funny how your fridge door always seems to make a noise at the same time that you fart. And it's like the poses that you get into when you're farting are hilarious.
Yeah, but they can't see that, can they?
Yeah, no, but we know. Matron and I know. We've seen it.
Oh, yeah, you've seen it. You've seen it. But you are.
He can't just fart like normally and let one sneak out. He has to sort of squat or lift a leg or jump in the air. Or something.
Yeah, because you get extra points for artistic merit. Everybody knows that. You get, well, points are split into two categories. You get scored on the fart itself, and then you get scored on the artistic merit. Everybody knows that. So you've got to put a bit of effort in.
Honestly, it's like you're doing ballet when you're farting.
Exactly.
They're all ballet moves.
Where have you been? That's how you get the extra points.
You do all the classic ballet moves when you're farting.
Oh, yeah.
We should see when he does the
pyramid. Oh! I've just sold 2 pairs of gloves.
That's so exciting.
It is. That's money. That's money. Did you hear that? Did you hear that till noise? That was my eBay app. Somebody
to the same person?
Hey?
Did they both go to the same person?
Yeah. You can buy 1 pair or you can buy 2 pairs, and they work out cheaper. And this person, bless them, has bought 2 pairs. Now, hopefully they're in the UK, so I don't have to. Oh, New Zealand.
Oh.
Pissing hell.
What sort of price do you sell them for?
Hang on. God, that's a lot of money. I sell them for £12 and 12 pence each, but per pair.
Okay.
But this New Zealand guy, so it's £24 24p for the 2 pairs of gloves. Postage is £12.21, and then there's, since we Brexited, there's this global sales tax, which is an extra, what's that, £5.47. So they paid
and you offer free postage then?
They've paid a total of £41.92.
Oh.
Of which I will get £29.42.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, well, every little helps, as the old lady said when she piddled in the sea.
Jimmy says Vimto, and then he says something that looks like it says Miwadi. I don't know what that means. Ribena testing cordial drinks. I don't understand that.
He's suggesting that we have a cordial club rather than a wine club.
Ah, right. Okay, I understand. Well, I'm not sure that'll go down quite as well. Jimmy Quinn says, I'm not sending Boaty a £60 bottle of wine. I'm not joining a wine club.
Don't blame me.
Says it as it is, as ever. Jimmy says urinal joke there. Target. Sean's link has been put out by Matron. John says he's getting there, which is good to hear. Peter P says, yeah, I'm sure Boaty hang on. Yeah, sure, Boaty rebogs videos just like Simone had a fart machine.
It's true.
Barry says brown noses. And Andrew Butterkey says glory hole for Uncle Bunghole. Don't forget to like. Alan Simpson says there's never a situation that is improved by premature crimpage.
So I'm just reading ahead. Alan Simpson.
Peter P says, wherever I lay my poo, that's my home. Matron says, you're singing my song, Peter P. I also suffer strange toilet syndrome. Andrew Bosky says, the morning oysters. Alan Simpson says, I have a friend who had to stop at one of those French rest area toilets. The shower tray type with the hole and the stepping stones. He made the mistake of sitting down. Apparently, what ensued was like a jet ski. He needed to change his T-shirt afterwards. Oh, dear. Oh, shit, Alan, says Matron.
Oh, God.
Andrew Butty says, can you try a three-way split screen on a video, Boaty?
No.
Not on YouTube, we can't.
Nope.
Jimmy Quinn says, no, Boaty, too expensive to have him as a best friend. Oh.
Well.
So Jimmy Quinn doesn't want to apply to be your best friend.
Well,
Simone says she's going to bed. Good night.
Jimmy Quinn is one of my best friends. He's lovely. He's lovely. He's been an incredible supporter of the channel and the live streams and the videos.
And the front parlour.
Yeah, he's totally 100% one of my best friends. He won't meet up with me or us. We wanted to meet him in Great Yarmouth. I would love to buy Jimmy Quinn a very expensive, well, quite expensive glass of wine or Coke to thank him for everything that he's done. He doesn't like me saying stuff like that. Don't come out with all that soppy fucking stuff. I'm not one of those that needs you shouting me out. But he's lovely. And I'm really grateful. I thought you were
going to say, I would like to buy Jimmy Quinn a ticket to ride the Great Yarmouth roller coaster.
Yeah, that as well. We should all meet up in Great Yarmouth and go on the roller coaster.
Barry's gone out to the gym.
Oh, and I have an update. I have a Great Yarmouth update. I have found a fridge magnet on eBay featuring the Great Yarmouth Pleasure Beach roller coaster.
Oh, fab. How much is it, though?
£2.55 and free postage.
Oh, right. That's about what you'd pay for a magnet, isn't it? In any way.
I bet it would be a little bit more. I can't buy it at the moment because, I'm a little bit embarrassed and haven't got £2.55.
Oh.
But I might be able to buy it tomorrow. I'm going to go and pay some. I haven't got any. Don't panic. I haven't got any electronic money. I had to put £5 of gas on the meter for tonight because I needed to wash up and the place was cold. So I'm £3 over my overdraft limit, but I have got some cash. So I'm going to go and pay some cash into the post office tomorrow. And then I might treat myself to that eBay fridge magnet. Oh, and I got a fridge magnet that I paid cash for from the Height of Abraham today.
Oh, right. Yeah, because you didn't get one last time.
No, I didn't. And this is the bag that it came in. Fucking £4.25, the rubbing bastards.
Yeah. Well, your Great Yarmouth one's cheaper than that, at least.
Yeah. Well, from now on, I'm going to buy them on eBay. I'm not going to buy them when I'm there at the place because they fucking take your trousers and pants down and bend you over. I'm going to buy them on eBay afterwards, after the event.
Jimmy Quinn suggests that you belong to the Church of Wine.
Well, we do drink wine in our church. We believe in alcohol.
Alan Simpson says, yeah, it's worth waiting. Some more will come along cheaper, I'm sure, regarding the plate. And I agree, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's an expert, so he will, if he says that they will come along, then that he means it. Andrew Buttergeek says, and big yellow bastard buses. Yeah. Peter P says, CSI Lemon on the case again. Matron's laughing. Ha 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 ha, she says. It's funny how the fridge door always squeaks at the same time as you fart. Oh, look, we're not too far behind then, because I didn't say that too long ago.
Oh, thank God. Thank God, it's midnight.
Boaty always oozes charisma and flatus in equal measure.
Yeah.
But looks less wrestler-like than mustard. Oh. And he says, I like to go for length with farts. Matron says, yes, Boaty is top of the farty ballet charts. And says, Boaty farting is very aesthetically pleasing to the watcher.
I do try. I genuinely do make an effort, darlings.
Yeah, he does. Peter P says, Boaty is a true fartist. And Matron agrees with that. John Studley says the number of the week is 28. This is crossing over the features. John Studley should be the John Studley Award person. Yes, he's giving a number of the week. Peter P says, thanks, John. Finally, someone being professional. And Matron is laughing and says, someone's remembered the script. And she's asking Jimmy what number 28 on Boaty's Chinese menu will be.
I'm going to come to that, but can I just say that this is why Jimmy Quinn, for all of his bradaccio, is just a lovely, lovely guy. He's just sent me the money to pay for the fridge magnet.
Oh,
how lovely is that?
Thanks, Jimmy.
Oh, shit. Right, we have a problem. We have a problem.
You've thrown away the menu.
I have. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. Here it is. Here it is. What's the number?
28.
Right.
So that's going to be reasonably near the beginning. I'm going to say it's a fish dish.
Hang on, let me have a look.
Come on, Jimmy will get it right anyway. Jimmy's got a copy of the menu there.
Right, he won't get this. No, it is not a fish dish.
Chicken.
No.
Right, we'll see if he gets it, because he always gets it right. So everybody can guess, and we'll get to the answers in a minute. Andrew Buttergeek says, I thought this was the rehearsal, Trace. Peter P suggests, oh, we're right at the end of the comments. Wow. Peter P is suggesting spring rolls.
No, it's...
I think that's earlier on.
Yeah, that
Tracy
was way
says crispy
earlier on.
duck.
No.
You said no one will get it, so it's going to be something, a signature dish for your local Chinese, isn't it?
It's a weird one. I would never have thought that this was an actual thing.
Oh.
Right, it's £5.20, if that helps.
Where's Jimmy's not answering? We need Jimmy, Matron says. Yes. Peter P wants to know if it's a curry.
No.
28. Yeah, spring rolls will be much earlier on, I think.
Yeah,
so it's going to be this is a starter section, perhaps?
No.
No. Jimmy, come on, where are you?
We haven't done this for a while. He might have thrown away his virtual copy.
He's probably looking for it.
He's probably Googling as we speak.
Jimmy F. Only says farting can be ASMR. And Andrew Buttigieg suggests crispy fried chicken feet.
Well, one of those words is correct.
Oh, crispy.
One of those words is correct.
Matron's messaged him. He's probably frantically trying to find it. He's our resident psychic cheat, after all, isn't he?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, Peter P is suggesting his feet.
No, feet is not the word, amazingly.
Anybody else? Come on, 32 people watching. There must be someone else with a suggestion. A dish that could be number 28 on a Chinese menu. It's not starters, you said.
No, it's not a starter. I've never heard of this dish. It's like a common dish, but the protein is not something that I would associate with the dish.
Tofu.
No, that's not protein. That's fucking shit.
The other thing, what's it called? Not tofu. The other thing that gets used, soya or something.
No, it's genuine, real protein.
Corn.
What? No,
Pause.
that's bollocks as well. It's none of that stupid made
I know,
up
but
stuff.
you did say that it's something you wouldn't have expected. So
Yeah,
I'm
but
trying
because right, it's a dish that we're all coming with, right?
Oh.
He's done it. Forget it. He's done it. How? How does he know he's done it?
He's Googled it. It's got to be online. That curry, that Chinese place has to be online.
I didn't think it was. I didn't think.
Or he's managed to get a copy of the menu from somewhere. Anyway, he is our resident Mighty Quinn psychic cheat, so you know.
This is the tiny little Chinese takeaway that Chinese madam became really friendly with. I'd use them because they were cheaper than anywhere else, because they don't do deliveries, they don't have a website, they don't have anything. So I don't know how the hell Jimmy Quinn over there on the East Coast has managed to get a copy of this bleeding menu. I don't know how.
Come on within.
You can't get better than like the Mighty Quinn.
There we go. Matron says, that's amazing. Well done, Jimmy. You are hilarious resident psychic cheat. Jimmy's a community treasure, says Peter P.
He genuinely is. Honestly, he's been supporting me since, well, as long as I can remember. I think he was around before I even started the channel. I don't know how that works. But I'm incredibly grateful. I am incredibly grateful. He doesn't like me saying stuff like this. But yeah, and when I finish this live stream, I'm going to order that fridge magnet. And,
I thought you were going to say you're going to order the beef fried rice.
No, balls to that. Balls to that. But I don't know how... Right, can we kind of wind things down and start off?
Start saying good nights, please, lovely people. Boaty's got fridge magnets to buy, and I've got iPhones to research.
Yeah, and I've got staff curry to...
I've got a bed to go to.
Yeah, well, I've got one of those too. That's nice, isn't it? Have you enjoyed tonight?
Yeah, I have. It's not the same though as being on the screen, and I think that I don't know how it comes across to people watching if it's annoying, to hear this random voice being, waffling at you.
It's been absolutely lovely having you back.
Oh, thank you very much.
No,
I have enjoyed it. I've missed doing it.
I wish that you were there today as well. It was a different vibe than when we were there. And I did think when I was buggering about and filming and whatever that if things were a little bit different and it was just you and me there, I thought we'd have had a great day today. It was like an us day. The weather was just perfect, and I thought, oh God, that would have been lovely.
Oh, that lucky 10 pence is still working.
The lucky 10 pence is still working, and I have become recommitted to our secret idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to the point that I think it has to happen. And I've been over the space of the last 7-10 days, I've been thinking about how I can make it happen purely off my own bat, as it were. Because I think it's a way forward.
Well, I think it would be fantastic.
Yeah, I think that I would love it. I think that it would open possibilities. I think it would be mainly, I just think that I would love it, and it's a way I want to go down. And you know what I'm talking about? The sacrifice that I would have to make it happen, I don't think would be that much of a sacrifice, because I think that the payoff would be more than worth the sacrifice.
Yeah, I think you would get a lot more out of the secret project than you currently get out of other things. Yeah,
because with other things going on, those other things are kind of being ignored, aren't they?
No, that's what I think, yeah. And with the other things, it's not like you can do all the other things at the same time, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Whereas with the secret project, there's so much you can do with that in terms of it's not just for one thing. You can use it for you could get lots of content out of it in different ways, and it will give you sort of, well, you know, freedom and exciting life, you know. So I think that fantastic.
And it would tidy things up if the Airbnb thing happens, and that starts taking up a bit more of my time. It would work so much better for that as well. So yeah, I'm 95% decided that that's the route that I need to go down. So there you go.
It's good if you sort of decided that, and you know, put steps in place to make it happen. That sounds fab.
Yeah. We will see.
And I'm still happy to be involved though, even if you do it off your own.
No.
With
I know that.
The stuff that needs doing and stuff.
Yeah. I know that. And as we're kind of winding things up and getting ready to get off and get supper and stuff like that, just to reiterate, I had a fabulous day today. There will be a video coming out tomorrow, and hopefully it will do justice for the day. A big shout out to anybody who is relatively new to the live streams, or to my channel, or to Emma or Matron, or any of the community channels. Lovely to have you on board. And thank you for being here tonight. I've absolutely loved it. I have. I've loved tonight. It's been great.
It has been nice. I've enjoyed it too. I'm sorry I've had to be on a phone though. It's frustrating, but you know.
It's not your fault. It's clearly an Android thing, isn't it? God knows.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, we spent, I don't know, an hour more trying to figure out the joint live stream issue. And as I said at the very beginning of this diatribe, as far as we can work out, it's an issue with the Android app. It's nothing to do with Emma's account. I've signed in as Emma. I can do a joint live stream, no problem. We've tried with Matron using an Android thing. That didn't work either. It appears to be an Android YouTube app issue. And, you know, what can we do about that? Nothing other than not use an Android phone. So there you go.
Unfortunately, though, if I get an iPhone and it still doesn't work, goodness knows what the problem is.
Well, that's why you need to ideally borrow one before you go ahead and buy one.
We'll see. But I was thinking of getting, like I said, an iPhone anyway for recording. So if I can get a second-hand one and refurbish one, then it might be okay.
It would be better. You can get one off Facebook Marketplace quite cheaply.
Yeah. I've always bought them for my daughter from there, and she's always been really happy with them. So
so you know what to do then. You just make sure that they're wiped clean of they're removed from the other owner's account, all of that sort of thing. And honestly, if you went back to an iPhone, this is an iPhone 11 that I use as a phone and as a backup recording phone. I guarantee you the camera on this is better than the camera on yours. And this is an iPhone 11, and you can pick these up really quite cheaply. iPhone 11 Pro, even better.
I've just noticed Andrew said maybe too many devices using your Wi-Fi at the same time as trying to rejoin live. Yeah, we did think of that.
We looked into that.
So what I did was I switched off, my Wi-Fi and used on my phone and used, what do you call it? Data. I switched off my data, and it still had the same issue. So I don't think it is that. And also, it's just the same thing. It's weird that the same thing is happening with Tracy. And she tried doing it with somebody else, and she had who's got an Android, and the same problem was happening. So, and actually, when we were testing earlier, there was only one other person in the house, potentially. I don't even know if they were using it, potentially using just their phone. So I don't think it is. unfortunately. Oh yeah, Tracy says no because it doesn't work with me either. Yeah, because Tracy. So if the iPhone isn't the issue, I haven't a clue what it is. It's the only thing I can think though, because what I did was I'm just letting them know because you know this, Boaty, but I set up a completely fresh YouTube account to test, and when Boaty invited me in with that, it had the problem. So then I gave Boaty the details of that account so he could sign in with the same account and try between two of his iPhones, and he had no problems with it.
Yeah, it was fine.
So it just seems a bit strange, but it's frustrating because I really like doing the joint live streams, and it's not like you can sort of think, okay, it's an issue, but it's being sorted. It'll be sorted in a couple of weeks. We've left it about a month now. I think it's coming on for a month, maybe not quite a month, but and they're not fixing it. So goodness knows when it would be. But I really like doing them, so it is a frustration, and I prefer not to just be a voice on a phone.
So if anybody's got a fairly old iPhone that they would be willing to sell at a reasonable price, then contact either myself or Emma.
Well, yes, please, yeah. Because at least I'd know that it'd be coming from somebody, we sort of know, as opposed to some random person on
that would be ideal. Now, obviously, iPhone season is coming up when the new one comes out. I've got a possibility of a 13 Pro. Samrat at work, he's looking at buying a 16 when they come out. He's currently got a 13 Pro, and he said, look, why don't you buy mine if I buy the 16? I'll let you know if I'm going to do it. You buy that, pay me weekly, whatever. So if that happens, then you can have the iPhone X and use it just as a live stream phone. But
okay, that'd be nice. But you don't know when that would be, do you?
That's the that is the problem.
Yeah, because I'd like to. Oh, it's frustrating. I haven't got one I can borrow to test it with.
What iPhone has your daughter got?
It's 11 or 12. I can't remember. But I can't borrow hers, as I've explained to you.
No, but whatever one she's got, get her the next one and tell her it's a Christmas present or a birthday present. And then
is her birthday coming up? Actually, that could be an idea.
And then you get hers.
Yeah, potentially.
That way, she gets something out of it as well.
Yeah.
She gets an upgrade.
Just for the sake of the community, like if they're thinking, well, hang on a minute, her daughter's got one, she can't borrow one. It's complicated.
Yeah,
it's not as simple as just it's not a normal situation. Let's just leave it like that. So it is a bit frustrating, but that's an idea because her birthday's coming up. So it's difficult because I don't know if she would want one. She might feel a bit like she's attached to the one she's got. But
I'll have a look. Right, my iPad finishes next month, so I'll have a look at the upgrades and what the costs are, and if I can get a 13 Pro or a 14 Pro cheaply enough, and I can upgrade, I'll just send you my live stream phone, the iPhone X, and we know that works, and you can use that.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
John Stoobley is suggesting I could use a PC, but I don't think you can do it on a PC, can you?
I don't know. I don't
have a webcam or anything like that, which means I can't at the moment.
Then no, you can't.
And as I don't have a webcam and things like that, I'm probably better off just buying the phone, I suppose. There's options. We'll have to have a think about it.
If you're going to try the YouTube thing, then having two phones is quite useful anyway. And and iPhones do have an amazingly good camera, so
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, Tracy's just confirming on there. You can't do uprights on a PC, only on a phone. device app. So
yeah, there we are.
Oh well.
Well,
and you can't do joint live streams on PC, she says.
The phone in has been better than nothing. It's been nice having you back here on a Monday night.
Oh, thank you very much. I mean, it depends on how people feel about it. I don't mind doing it again until we get sorted.
Well, the numbers have been good, so.
But I would probably say for the time being, I will stick to Mondays only, just because we're settling into, school years, and I've got so much I need to do in my life at home and things that I don't really want to have 2 days of I know that I watch the live streams and they give me a late night.
Yeah, I know, but that's
when
different.
I do the live stream, it takes me longer to wind down after.
Yeah, of course.
So just Mondays for now, but that's fine, isn't it? And we'll see. We'll review the situation
At least you're still part of it all, so there we are. There we are.
Oh, yeah, John Stoogley, that's fine. Yeah, we know you're just trying to help. It's absolutely fine. We didn't take offence or anything. You had good suggestions, but, unfortunately, it doesn't work with a PC. But it was a good suggestion. So, any suggestions are welcome, because Boaty and I are almost at the end of our we're out of ideas. If the iPhone thing doesn't work, we don't know.
Okay, probably time to wrap this up, darling. So, Emma, have you got a video coming out anytime soon?
Well, I haven't got anything ready or anything. I've had to have a few days off because, like I said, I've got so much I've needed to do. So I've not, it's not really things I could film.
Okay.
But I would like to, but I haven't got anything happening just at the moment, unfortunately. But we do know that Boaty has a very nice video coming out tomorrow.
Hopefully.
I'm looking forward to that
one. Hopefully. I will be rendering and editing it tomorrow. And I've had the loveliest of days today. And I hope the video reflects that. I'll certainly do my best in the editing process to make it as good as possible. So that will be out for you tomorrow. Tomorrow, my plans are to, what am I doing tomorrow? The wonderful beef, Sean's wonderful beef. I'm going to be making a lunch with that, but a kind of a dirty lunch. My plans for tomorrow are I'm going to get up, I'm going to edit the video, try and get that video out at a decent time. I need to go to the post office, I need to pay some cash in, and then I'm going to have the dirty lunch. I'm going to have that beautiful beef, but I'm going to have it with chips and with fried onions, and I'm going to make a beautiful 3 peppercorn sauce to go with that. And then it will be, it'll be Tuesday night. I'm back to work. And then it'll be Tuesday Night Live tomorrow night, 11 o'clock. I would love for you to join me tomorrow at 11 if you possibly can. And please, I hope you enjoy the Height of Abraham hot dog with a view video that, all being well, should be out there tomorrow. Recorded with the microphone courtesy of Sean James Cameron. First time using the microphone slightly in earnest. I'm still experimenting with it. I'm still learning how to use it to its best advantage, but it very much does come into play. There we are. There we are. And I think that is it for tonight, unless you've got anything to add, M11.
No, I haven't really got anything to add. I was just going to say that I'm looking forward to seeing the different vibe of your video tomorrow compared to when I was there.
Oh, you'd have loved it. You would have loved it. We need to do it. We need to do it.
We'll definitely do more things. Yeah, definitely. We have plans. We will make more plans.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But no, aside from that, no, I don't have anything else to say apart from I hope everybody has a great night, sleep well, and thanks for putting up with me on the phone. And I hope to see or hear from you all next Monday. But of course, I'll be in the chat box in the meantime. But sleep well all.
And on that note, huge thanks to Emma for having a phone glued to her face for the best part of 2.5 hours. That is above and beyond. Do check out her channel and subscribe. Thank you to Mustard for thank you Mustard. Thank you Mustard for coming in and telling us that you couldn't stay. Thank you, Matron, for all of your efforts tonight, as always. Thank you, Jimmy Quinn, for your generosity. And all that remains is to wish you all a safe and peaceful night. I hope you have a great Tuesday ahead. Take a little bit of joy from Tuesday, anywhere and anywhere that you can. Take really good care of yourselves. And if you've got people who you love and who love you, take really good care of them as well. Much love from me and indeed the M11. Do join me tomorrow night, 11 o'clock. And do join me and Emma next Monday, same time, same place, 10 o'clock. Much love from us both, and on that note, Pachoo, and indeed,
Bosh.
Oh yeah, you know it. Bye, darlings.